The Youth Police Academy is a program designed to expose young people to the different various jobs that police officers perform throughout the course of their duties. The program is designed to, in exposing young people to law enforcement, it's designed to bolster relationships between the community and the police by forming trust and an understanding between the police officers that work at the Youth Police Academy and the cadets that participate in the Youth Academy, as well as their families. The Youth Academy also tries to promote leadership skills throughout the program and rewards the young people and the cadets for exhibiting leadership and working together.
It's over the course of 5 days, and we start off with team building. We teach them how to work together as a team with people that they don't necessarily know. Some of the other things we teach them what it's like to have integrity, and the biggest thing is work together as a team. There's 5 classes over the course of 5 days. The first day is, again, the team building at the Walled Lake Nature Center, where they have to work together to accomplish tasks. Walking together, holding. One of the things is they had to hold a sponge ball between different parts of their body, shoulder, ankle, and walk, and how to do that together, working together as a team. The next day was defensive tactics, where they learned why we do some of the stuff that we do, strikes, pressure points. Chief Keller came in and talked to them about that. And then Wednesday was the driving, and that was the class that I talked to them about the importance of driving. We can't, some of the responsibility and the liability that we as police officers have when we go lights and sirens for coding to a call. It's not just, hey, we can go through a red light. There's responsibility that if we feel we need to do that for an emergency call, what can go wrong, and some of the responsibilities that we take. And then we take them out on the course and show them in a golf cart with cones, just like we do every couple years with the state. We go through a driving course, we do the slalom, the evasive driving, and we put them through that same task as close as we can with the golf carts. The next day is handcuffing and traffic stops. We put them through the paces. We talk to them about proper positioning and different things that can go wrong on stops, and that it's never the same type of thing. Talk about positioning and officer safety issues, concerns, and then we get them out in the course in the afternoon and put them through different traffic stops and different scenarios where people take off running and different, searching techniques of cars and persons.
What happens is we use the exact driving course that we use in the police academy with police cars. However, the cadets use golf carts. We do the same serpentine type course, backing, turning around, J-turns, obstacle avoidance that we do with police cars. However, they just use golf carts.
Some of the kids are used to driving them and push those carts to the limits. Seen a couple carts get up on 2 wheels. Not much, but because they want to do the driving as realistic as possible. And you wouldn't think just a golf cart would get going as fast as they do, but they really do push them to a limit. It's almost like a pre-driver's ed for them. Because a lot of these kids, they haven't gotten to that point where their parents are saying, okay, you're going to start learning how to drive. Some of these kids have never been behind the wheel of anything other than a 10-speed bike, and to actually put them in something where they have to steer, brake, accelerate, and be aware of other carts, because we're in a very small area and there's usually 4 carts going around, and there's spatial awareness, and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, there's a cart there. Yeah, you got to pay attention. So knowing that we're kind of getting that jump start for them for driver's ed, I like that part. The driving with the go-karts, that definitely seems to be the one that is hardest to corral them, keep them So I would say that's probably one of their most enjoyable. And I also want to say the defensive tactics. We use the bags, and they really get into hitting, especially when there's an officer on the other end of the bag, trying to hit that bag as hard as they can to get the reaction, the movement from the officer. So I'd have to say those are probably their two ones that they look forward to the most when I go in and I try and recruit these kids and we talk about defensive tactics and the driving. Those seem to generate the most buzz.
Portion of the Youth Police Academy is physical fitness. So on a daily basis throughout the week-long program, we expose them to PT. That would be the toughest part. Some of the kids coming through the program are athletes, and so they've been exposed to push-ups, sit-ups, running, calisthenics, and stretching. Some of the kids have not, though. We have never really had any issues or problems with the kids, and this is one of the parts of the program where you actually see young people excel and perform the task that's asked of them. They exhibit leadership and are supportive of one another as they go through the physical fitness training part of the Youth Academy. We try to involve the kids in actual police training to make it more interesting to them. So the training that they do is basically police training that officers perform when they're in the police academy. They go through similar courses that we go through in order to make it more interesting to them, in order to give an idea about what police officers actually do, and in order for them to feel better about the program and what it involves. We don't necessarily treat them as children. They're young adults, so we expose them to the various tasks associated with police work: driving, defensive tactics, crime scene investigation, traffic stops, for example.
And then the last day on Friday is evidence collection, evidence. We put together a crime scene, and Sergeant Way talks to them about collecting evidence and how the proper ways to do it, fingerprinting and dust and photographing, and then they put together a crime scene. And that's an interesting thing just in itself, because you get these teams, and there's 4 teams and there's one crime scene, and the different thought processes and how they come to they all come to the same conclusion, but they all come at a different angle on how it happens, and it's definitely interesting to see how that evolution of, okay, here's the evidence, and taking it to the conclusion. That first day, they're kind of walking around, they're mingling with their friends, and then we put them in their teams and watching them work together as a team instead of the individuals that they started off with on Monday, and watching that grow throughout the week.
The best part of the Youth Academy is seeing a group of kids from all over the area come together, participate in the program, and in that form their lifelong friendships and form bonds with one another, and come together as strangers to work with one another to achieve a goal. The program allows us to see that just in the week-long case of our academy. However, we do maintain contact with some of the cadets from 2008 and 2009 that come back and volunteer with our program on an annual basis, and they're able to tell us what a benefit it was for them to go through the Youth Police Academy. So when you see a group of kids come together on the first day, kind of shy, not really talking with one another, but by the end of the day, or end of the week, they're working really hard to push one another to finish their physical fitness training, or to work together to solve, for example, a mock crime scene. That's pretty rewarding.
The toughest part is to challenge themselves, I would have to say. And that's where that first day of the team building at the Walled Lake Nature Center, that really comes into play, and you could see the kids grow and learn to challenge themselves with the encouragement of some of the other cadets. When they're running with the chief in the morning PT, the encouragement that they bring, because they want everyone to succeed and push themselves harder. And there was one event they were doing I want to say it was on Thursday. They were doing these four corner drills, and one of the teams had a person that was falling behind, and the entire team fell back to stay with that individual through the entire PT, and that was very encouraging to see them, knowing that they could have continued on, but they fell back to make sure that one person was able to complete the task. One of the stories I remember, and I want to say it was last year's academy class, one of the parents came up and said, "I don't know what you did to my kid, but this is not the same person. I don't have to remind them to do chores. They're going and doing them, and they're picking up stuff." So when you hear that type of stuff, that it is transgressing into their everyday life, it's one of those, hey, we are having an effect, and we're showing them a little bit different.
We hope that as the kids go through the Youth Police Academy, they feel more comfortable speaking with police officers, particularly as they're going into high school and they're exposed to the drama and the social issues related to being a young adult, adolescent, that if they have been exposed to law enforcement, police officers, that if they have any problems, that they know and they feel more comfortable speaking with an officer because of their experiences in the Youth Police Academy about that problem that they may have.